And welcome to lesson number 6 of the course, Asking Questions in English, How to Sound More Natural. You want to sound more natural when asking questions with those auxiliaries. I don't know which way they are. Do, does, and did. We use them to ask questions, but don't actually say them. I'm answering to this question after we check some examples. So let's go straight to the point. I want to show you some examples. Come along with me. Come over with me. All right, so we are checking out an example of this very common question that can be used for many different purposes and in many different ways. If you find this, if you search for this question, what do you do on English, you will get so many results. But I would like you to pay attention to how he sounds asking this. All right, so let's focus on how he actually asks this question.
So what do you do about things? So what do you do about things like that?
Okay, so in the original video, he is asking, so what do you do about things like that? But I took just this piece, just this question, the simplest as it can be, so that we can analyze it more profoundly in terms of how you pronounce this. What happens to the auxiliary verb do in this case? It's sort of reduced. Yeah, the sound of the auxiliary do is being reduced to almost nothing. And the sound that is more highlighted is the end of what? What do you do? You see here what we are listening to and the way he says that, the way he asks this question is suppressing, is reducing the do sound to almost zero. And what happens to the you again is the same as we studied in the previous lesson about the verb to be being used in reality, in questions. Remember, the same happened with the question, how you doing? Yeah, how you doing? You became y. So you can repeat after me, y. Okay, so this is the schwa sound as we studied previously. And what are you? What are you doing? This is the T connected to y. What do you do? What do you do? Similar to the sound of water. This is a flapping sound of the T. What do you do? What do you do? So you can repeat after me. What do you do? Slowly. Precisely that. Again, what do you do? What do you do? Okay, so here's another example from English. And this is a video that talks about Macbeth by Shakespeare. And here we have this question, what does she want? But I want you to pay attention on how this is actually pronounced. Pay attention.
In this scene, what does she want and how is she going? In this scene, what does she want and how is she going to get it? In this scene, what does she want and how is she going to get it?
What does she want? So the question, what does she want, becomes, what does she want? Oh my God, what happened here? You see, some of the sounds are being mixed together. Yeah, like the T and the D sound, they almost sound like one single sound. And here we have a word that ends up with S and a word that begins with S in sequence. So we're not saying the S sound twice. We are making it just once. Yeah, so let's see if you can reproduce it together after me, please. What does she want? What does she want? There's again that flapping sound. What is, yeah? So the sound you hear here is just no D sound, just what a s. You skip to the S sound. Yeah, so what does she want? What does she want? Oh my God, teacher. So we're not using does here, we're just using s. Yes, this is what is happening. And you want to sound more natural? You want to learn how to do this? So repeat it after me. What does she want? Let's see one more example with does. This is how does she feel? Repeat, please. How does she feel? I know that by now you are almost reducing the sound of does to S sound. Well, let's see how this works in a real example.
How does she feel that she's going to be able to navigate this? How does she feel that she's how does she feel that she's going to be able?
You see, it's almost impossible to hear does. It's not does. It's sort of. Let's listen to it one more time.
How does she feel that?
How
does she feel that she's?
How does she? It's mixed together with she again. So what's going on here is that in this case, we have the sound of D from does, from the auxiliary does, but the middle of this word is completely reduced to almost zero. Yeah, almost. It's like zero sound here. And again, there's this blending of the S from does and the sh from she. So let's try to reproduce this together. Help me, guys. How does she feel? Slowly, please. How does she feel? All right. We're making progress. I want to hear you again. How does she feel? Excellent. Oh, almost like a native speaker. Excellent. Let's see one example with did. Repeat. Where did you go? I want to show you a real example of that.
Where did you go? Where did you go? Where did you go?
It's almost impossible to hear did in this question. So what happens here? This is where did you go, right? So where is reduced to where, and the R sound is blended into D, but it sounds like the flapping sound again. Where did you go? And D and U make the sound of J. So where did you go? Can you repeat that? Where did you go? Where did you go? Where did you go? Where did you go? You can simply eliminate does, not use did anymore, not use does anymore, not use do anymore. The answer is no. To make these mistakes in order to sound cool and more natural when asking questions in English, you need to learn how to reduce their sound, but still make use of them. All right, so I guess I've answered the biggest question that originated this course, but there's still more. So make sure to subscribe to our channel, download the material in the description, you will find the link for it, do the exercises. If you have any questions, please leave a comment in this video. I'll make sure to reply to you. And give this video a thumbs up, a big thumbs up. Share it with more people that probably you think will have the same doubts about pronunciation. Yeah, practice more times. Return to the examples I gave you in this video and practice repeating the examples more times. This will be excellent. This will be great. And in the next videos, we are going to explore other types of questions. All right, so you can learn how to sound more natural in different ways to ask as well. I'll see you next time. Bye.